Hi there, it's Jessie here, and a big fat warm welcome to this big fat warm channel. Thank you very much for being here. Oh, guys, hi, did you miss me? I miss doing this. I really have such a pull to do it. And you can probably hear, I'm a little bit sick. I'm a bit run down due to lack of sleep. But I was like, come on, Jessie, power through. Just say hi, just say hi, and I'm all right. I had an amazing time in the mountains, and I want to share today something that I learned about myself. So, over the years of healing, it's become apparent to me that I have needs, and I need to communicate those needs to people and not just assume that they will automatically meet them. And it's been a huge part of my journey is like communicating needs, and a big one for me is boundaries. Like, I can't always be available for people. I need my time alone to recharge. And, it's helped my life a lot to be able to do that, know what my needs are and communicate them in a kind way and set my boundaries so I respect myself as well as respecting the other. So I've got better at it. But I did learn this week that there is still a little niggly place where it's difficult for me. And that is when I know somebody very well and I know what their wound is. I know what what happened to them and what's really difficult for them. And so if I have a need that conflicts with their need created from their wound, it's much more difficult for me to communicate. And I don't. And I keep it in for the sake of them. And it's not helping them and it's not helping me, because what happens later? Oh, bless me. Huh? Okay. Told you I was a little bit sick. So I don't communicate certain needs when I think it's going to upset the person. I don't know why. I'm afraid maybe to have confrontational conversation. Maybe it's not confrontational. Maybe it's just difficult, knowing that me expressing something that's important for me might hurt them. And it's all about the way that you express it. But because it's difficult and because that's a little bit hard for me, I just don't do it. I just avoid it. And then I blow up like a volcano later down the line, and it's completely out of context. So I learned this, and I'm going to give you some examples to share what I mean. A couple of years ago, I've had a fallout with a friend, a big fallout with a dear friend. And the reason was I had a need at some point to set a boundary and basically say, with this particular topic, I'm not the right person to speak to anymore. I got something called compassion fatigue. Don't know if you've ever experienced that, where you have sort of boundless compassion for people and you can hold space, but after a while it gets to a point where it's like, I don't have compassion for this situation anymore. It's too much for me. And I actually was told by a neuroscientist the science behind that. So when somebody is going through a very traumatic situation, or they experienced a trauma and then they're wounded from that and then reliving it in a way to heal it, and they share that with you, but then sort of going round and round, what can happen is their trauma can leak into us and we can be affected by their traumatic event. And the way that the brain protects itself from that is it turns off compassion. So you can have compassion and hold space. But what happened with this friend is it was about 2 years later of the sort of same thing. And I couldn't do it anymore. I just was like, and all I needed to do was, hey, this particular subject, I can't hold space for it anymore. Please, can you find someone else, another friend or a therapist? That's all I needed to say. But did I? No. Why? Because I know this person so well, and I know one of their wounds is being too much emotionally. So I was afraid to set my boundary in case it triggered their wound. Now, rubbish. It's all about the way. Oh, Phone light's gone off. Rubbish. Oh. Okay, it's got a bit brighter. Hold up. Okay. So they have an emotional wound of being too much. Now I'm afraid to trigger that by saying, hey, I can't hold space for this anymore, in case they interpret that as, oh my God, I'm too much. And for some reason, I've taken it upon myself to be, I want to be for my friends and my family and like my close relationships, is a safe space where they can bring anything. But I have my limits. Anyway, I didn't recognize this at the time. So it comes out in a passive aggressive comment. She picks up on the tone. She asks me what I'm on about. I have no idea because I'm out of touch with my emotional needs, because I'm just trying to sustain the relationship and give the relationship what it needs, and just not say something that might trigger their pain. Big mistake, caused a huge blow up. Took us a long time to get back. Same thing happened this week. So I have something with another friend, and I know me expressing my fears and my opinion on her behavior will trigger a core wound, because she's told me, and it's something she's experienced throughout her life, that people say this and it hurts her. So rather than me saying the same thing that I need to, that's important for me, don't say anything. Until I call her up where I'm really emotionally triggered about something else, and she makes a little comment and bam, I blow up, and it all comes out in not the best way, because then I'm coming with like aggression and like, you shouldn't do this, rather than being calm about it and say, hey, when you behave in that way, or when you say these things, I'm afraid. I feel less safe in this connection. And, I could have done that super calmly. Also, I can just take it upon myself because of that, because of her behavior due to her wound. It's perfectly valid. I have a boundary. I can't introduce you to this person because I'm afraid of how you will react. That's my responsibility, to caretake a little bit more my boundaries. Anyway, I come off the phone because she has to go. We've had an argument. We haven't resolved it yet. And then my housemate is like, so my housemate again is more of an anxious type, and she needs to talk a lot about what's going on and be heard and listen. So I'm holding a lot of space for that. I have boundaries where when I wake up first thing in the morning, I don't want to hear your problems yet. Tell me later, at least after breakfast. I don't want to go straight into it. So my boundary is to say, hey, can we have this conversation later? Do I do that? No, because I know that they're afraid that they're too much. So I just let them, and I'm just like, Jessie, you have a need, yes, but they also have a need. And I think I'm like, oh, I'm so holy. I'll put their needs before my own. Rubbish. Because then she goes, who was that on the phone? I was like, oh, it's my friend. She's like, oh, well, you shouldn't speak to people outside the course. I lose it. Don't tell me what I should or shouldn't do. I just need blah, 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 blah. Lose it. She's there like, where the fuck did that come from? Well, it came from the accumulation of every single morning that week. I wasn't able to respect myself and share my boundaries calmly. So I had to take a real deep, long look at myself and see how, when I keep things back because I believe I'm protecting the relationship and I'm protecting them from being triggered, I'm damaging myself. I'm damaging the relationship because it will come out at some point in a bit of an unholy way, let's say. And they don't see it. They're like, what the flip? Couldn't you have just told me this before? So anyway, what do? I go back to these people and I apologize. I'm sorry I spoke to you that way. I was really activated. I needed this from you and I wasn't able to just ask. That's what I needed. Go back again. I'm really sorry I spoke to you like that. I was really activated. What I needed from you was just to listen. I didn't need to be given advice at that moment, especially what I should have done, irrelevant to me. So, huge, actually. And it led me to take a step which I've been wanting to take for 8 years. Imagine, I've had a question on my heart for 8 years. And I found it very difficult to know what to do with this question, because I'm pretty sure it will offend the person I need to ask it to. And so I didn't for many, many years to protect them. But I was living a lie. Anyway, last year it comes out and I share a little bit more with my sister. And it somewhat involves her too, so I want to include her in this process because it will have an effect. And because of her reaction, I interpreted that, and this wasn't her, but I interpreted it as, wow, if I say this, it's not only going to affect the person I'm asking, but also you. So I decided myself to protect not just this person, but also my sister by keeping it in. And after one of the sessions, we had been doing some sharing and, emotional release. We were all sat in the room with our eyes closed, and our teacher asked us, and actually close your eyes and feel if there's an answer that comes up inside of you. She asked us, why are you still angry? Immediately the answer came to me. I know, because I haven't communicated this doubt that I have. So I went outside, I sat on the grass, and I sent an email. Did I do it in the best way? No. Did I give context? No. Did I share why I was asking the question, which was actually to deepen and strengthen our bond, not to tear it apart? No. Didn't do that. I was in a lot of emotional pain, and I was trying to be simple and direct, but really what I did was put the pain onto another. It's not how I wish to behave, but it is how I did it, and I have learned since. But honestly, taking this step for myself, defending myself and what it is that I want to do, and not trying to protect the feelings of others, has been the best thing I've done. And I've totally shifted since I made that step. Something in me has shifted, and I'm a new, upgraded version of myself. And so this is my new practice, to be very, very conscious of when I don't express my needs in fear they will hurt another. And actually, it's not helping anyone. And learn to communicate them when I'm not activated, emotional, or triggered. Oh, isn't it fun to be a human and learn, make mistakes, and get back up again? So, guys, one last thing I want to leave it with, if you're still here, is I am in the next phase of my life where I am creating financial abundance. So I have a lot of abundance in my life. I'm a very lucky person. And I've never felt the need to create financial abundance because I'm not a particularly materialistic person, and I'm happy with what I've got. I'm not super ambitious in the material realm. But I'm changing my mind about it because I know, so my teacher at the school is very, very abundant, and she wants to create even more abundance because she knows what she wants to do with that money. She wants to open more retreat centers. She wants to buy acres of land in the jungle to preserve it. She has a very clear vision of why she's here and what she wants to do, and she needs money for that. And watching her be so at ease with creating wealth in order to be at service made me realize I actually really deserve to have more financial abundance. Because if I can create, and I still don't need a lot, but if I could have a little bit of land with a tiny home and a sanctuary in this world that I won't be asked to move out of, that's going to be a really good thing, not just for me, but for the work that I'm here to do and to be at service in the world. And I think, if I had more abundance, actually financial abundance, I could do more training, which will contribute to what I'm here to do, which is to be at service in healing humanity and changing the systems that we live within. And the clearer that I get on my mission and why I'm here, the more evident it becomes that I need financial abundance for this. So I'm changing my attitude and just my sense of, what I want, what I deserve, and why. I think it's the why behind, which is helping me feel more at ease with it. So with that being said, if you'd like to help me, there's two ways. You could either, just support the channel with a like and a comment so it reaches more people. You could donate whatever's within your means if you feel these videos do help you in any way. And if you would like more of a tangible exchange, I offer mirror sessions. And there's something that I've learned about myself is I have the gift of vision of people's potential and why they're here. And so if you're sort of still piecing together, I might be able to help from what I see and share that with you for validation or support, empowerment. If you have absolutely no idea, I can help you clarify the doubts and come back to yourself. If you would just like a session and you just want to meet and we have a random mirror session, we see whatever comes back, get in touch. There's an email below, right? And these sessions work donation based. So that's an interesting experiment for me, which is how much you think it's worth within your means. And like that, we can help each other. We can help each other walk home. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. So guys, I'll leave it there. Hit subscribe if you would like more of this content. Otherwise, have a beautiful day, beautiful life, and whatever the weather, we have got this.